The Invisible Game: How the Elite Built a System You Were Never Meant to See. 1. The Game Behind the Game. There's a game happening right now, and you're in it, whether you know it or not. The rules were written in a language you were never taught. You were told the formula: work hard, save smart, invest wisely. But that's the stage version. Behind the curtain is the real game, played by a few who write the script, own the casino, and move the goalposts whenever it suits them. This hidden system isn't about creating wealth. It's about preserving and multiplying it, immune to the taxes, inflation, and market chaos that bleed everyone else dry. The public system is for show. The private one is for power. So what does that actually mean? It means capitalism has always had two lanes, one for spectators, one for insiders. The trick is that both use the same vocabulary, just with different definitions. Footnote. This section introduces the central metaphor: two economic systems operating side by side, one public and one private, each governed by different rules of wealth and risk. 2. Venice, the first laboratory. To see how it all began, sail back to Venice, the merchant republic built on water and cunning. Its elite invented the colleganza, a brilliant legal loophole disguised as partnership. A rich investor could fund a merchant's voyage without risking his family fortune if the ship sank. Liability stopped at the investment, risk stopped at the poor. So what does that actually mean? It means the wealthy learned early how to separate themselves from their money. They created legal armor long before anyone called it asset protection. The common merchant could drown with his cargo. The patrician's gold stayed dry. Footnote. This section describes how Venetian legal innovation created limited liability partnerships, the precursor to modern corporate and trust structures. 3. The English Trust, legal alchemy. Then came the British Empire. Its weapon wasn't the sword, it was the trust. A nobleman could gift his estate to a trustee yet still control it. Creditors couldn't touch it. Even the crown couldn't seize it. Ownership vanished in a puff of legal smoke. This sleight of hand spread with empire. When the British built global trade routes, they also built global secrecy. The Channel Islands became laboratories of concealment. By the 20th century, tax havens had replaced colonies as the empire's most profitable export. So what does that actually mean? It means the empire never ended. It just changed its uniform, from red coats to gray suits. Footnote. This section explains how the English trust evolved into a mechanism for offshore wealth concealment, shaping global financial secrecy. 4. The birth of the shadow economy. After World War II, money itself slipped offshore. Soviet dollars, earned from oil, flowed into London, where bankers promised secrecy. Thus was born the Eurodollar market, a stateless ocean of cash beyond regulation. By the time small island nations gained independence, London's lawyers were waiting with ready-made laws: zero tax, total secrecy, full immunity. Cayman, Bermuda, BVI, they became the new archipelago of invisibility. The result was a global spider's web of shell companies, nominee directors, and anonymous trusts. So what does that actually mean? It means your economy is not just national, it's nested. The real money doesn't circulate, it hides, compounding in the dark. Footnote. This section traces the rise of offshore banking and the Eurodollar market, which created a parallel, unregulated global economy. 5. The consequences: who pays the bill? This hidden machinery extracts quietly. The losses are loud, but the theft is silent. The first casualty is the state itself, trillions in lost tax revenue that never fund schools or hospitals. The burden shifts down the chain. Your taxes rise. Your services shrink. Next comes competition. Small businesses die not from inefficiency, but from being outlawyered. The giants dodge tax through mazes of offshore subsidiaries, then undercut the locals. And the final casualty? Trust. The idea that everyone plays by the same rules collapses. So what does that actually mean? It means inequality isn't an accident, it's architecture. Footnote. This section identifies the systemic consequences of offshore finance, tax evasion, market distortion, and the erosion of public trust. 6. The Modern Empire, London and Washington. The world's biggest tax havens aren't tropical. They're English-speaking. The City of London sits at the center of the web. Its overseas territories, Cayman, Jersey, Bermuda, are its satellites. The United States, ever the moral preacher, built its own havens, Delaware, Nevada, South Dakota. So what does that actually mean? It means the champions of transparency are also the architects of opacity. The global game is rigged from both ends of the Atlantic. Footnote. This section outlines how the UK and US anchor the offshore system while publicly denouncing it, maintaining the illusion of opposition. 7. The crisis and the coup. When the 2008 crash hit, the headlines blamed bad mortgages. The truth? The poison was brewed offshore. Banks hid their toxic debt inside thousands of shell companies. When the music stopped, the losses were socialized, the bonuses privatized. So what does that actually mean? It means the offshore system didn't fail, it performed perfectly. It did what it was designed to do: protect the few, build the many. Footnote. This section reframes the 2008 financial crisis as a direct outcome of offshore shadow banking, revealing its built-in immunity to accountability. 8. The new skin of secrecy. Transparency laws were supposed to kill secrecy. Instead, secrecy adapted. Money moved from accounts to assets, penthouses, art vaults, freeports, cryptocurrencies. Each wrapped in the same old trusts and shells. The system didn't die, it evolved into code and concrete. So what does that actually mean? It means the ghost of Venice now lives in a blockchain wallet and a Geneva vault. The Coliganza went digital. Footnote. This section shows how wealth concealment is evolving from bank secrecy to asset-based and digital anonymity. 9. The countermove, playing smarter. No one can topple the system alone. But you can stop being its pawn. Study its tactics. The wealthy separate identity from assets, so can you, legally. They own nothing and control everything. Use entities. Build buffers. Understand the difference between paper promises and real assets. And most importantly, close the information gap. Knowledge is the firewall. Once you see the game, you stop losing by default. So what does that actually mean? It means you don't have to cheat the system, you just have to stop letting it cheat you. Footnote. This section concludes by reframing financial literacy and asset structuring as tools of individual sovereignty within an inherently unequal global system.